you just talk about practice. We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Not our feel good shit now.
Woo. The game that
backpacking.
I go out there and die for.
I heard those who can't teach. Well, fuck it, I guess class dismissed. I can't teach you shit. I've been doing this for years, man. My rep is legit. It's like
Shout out to Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons got a shot now. Y'all in trouble. Y'all in trouble.
He was shooting in the gym.
He was shooting in the gym. They said we lost JJ Redick. Ben said, hold my beer. Is that right? Is that who we lost? Guess who we gained?
Al Horford.
Guess what we gained? A jumper and Al.
Is the crowd rude for cheering so much louder when he makes a three-pointer?
Oh, that's so disrespectful.
Nah, that's support. Like, we support you. We appreciate all the hard work you put in on the off season. And we wanted to acknowledge you for that.
You know what that's like, man? When you're beating a team by 40 and you put in the kid that's got like...
Stop there.
Let the music ride.
Stop.
We're talking about practice, man.
I'm trying to get canceled.
Abner want me to finish my story.
No. Abner's behind this. That's because
when they put in wheelchair Jimmy to get that shot off.
Come on, bro.
Come on.
Yo, MikiDz Podcast, episode 18.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we out here.
We are pumping these mugs out.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Time flies.
We almost on 20.
We're almost at 20. That's right.
Oh, yeah, we got to take a bunch of questions for 20, so remember to post some stuff.
Yeah,
some
we'll
questions,
check on
some
that.
fresh questions in.
Yeah, episode 18.
Yeah.
Man, have y'all ever, I had a situation
Okay.
this like past weekend,
Okay.
right? And I went out with a friend who, you know, I tend to sometimes have this bad habit of not saving the contact of some people I meet. So I try to scroll back to see if there's some history there to, like, you know, try to put a little memory to the situation.
Yeah.
But I don't save them under their name. And then they're like, yo, let's link up, right? And so we link up and we go out, have a good time, and like I couldn't remember like the homie's name, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm doing the most to just be like, yo, this is my boy, blah blah blah, and this, you know, and this is. Right, and leave it open-ended.
Let them
so they're like, yo, let them
ask
introduce themselves.
Ask for his name when I introduce you. Pull that one.
I should have, texted.
Yo, I'm about to introduce you to someone. Ask what her name is.
Just try to get his name, see what it is. But you ever run into that situation?
Yeah, you know, I used to try and make it a sport to really try and remember their name.
Okay.
Like I really would, like, if you told me your name, I would repeat it in my head.
Okay.
Try and remember. But there's times where you're getting bunch of different faces and bodies thrown at you, and you're like, shit.
What kind of environments are you in?
Well, you know, the same. You out networking.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But yeah, it can be tough. Or you try and find something about them that you remember that stands out, that might rhyme with their name,
right?
Or I don't know, Scott with the mohawk or something like that. You know?
I mean, that's how you remember them?
How often do you run into a situation like that?
I'm just saying, I mean, that's off the top.
Right.
I'm freestyling here. You know, Michael Scott from The Office has a really good way of remembering names. It's something along those lines.
That's
but it's
right.
a little bit more disrespectful.
Oh.
But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
Bro, what do you got in your bag?
I don't try
You meet a lot of people.
I don't try it. I don't even try to remember their names.
Really?
I'll just apologize. Listen, man, I forgot your name. What's your name again? Straight. I was like, I smoke too much weed for that shit.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with them. Yeah, I'll just be blunt with them. Listen.
Right.
I think any respectful person will understand. You probably meet a lot of people, and especially in that moment, if you meet a lot of people, I don't remember your name.
But like, what if you had like a really good night with this person and it was like,
then I feel like
good
an
time,
asshole.
right?
I feel like an asshole. Yeah.
But what if you were never properly introduced and you guys had the time of your lives together?
Then it's okay to ask them, like, yo, you know what?
Hey,
just
man,
remember,
I
I
never
didn't
got
even
your
get your name. What's
Yeah.
good? You know what you got? Now, someone put their name on, like, if you ever you exchange contacts with someone and they text you and they go, yo, this is such and such, and you're like, oh, I got you, and you know, like, you maybe have like a brief conversation at that moment, and then you don't hear from them, you never save their number, and they text you like, yo, what's good? You're like, who the fuck is this?
Right. Yeah.
Right?
I changed my
you
number.
have to scroll back up to see if they put their name in the thing. I have shit like that happen to me all the time.
And that's the problem. I'm usually the one to be like, oh, this is so and so, right? Because like I'll be the guy with the store or some shit, right? In those scenarios, and so that's a little easier to remember. But then obviously, like, there's no like follow up or like them replying, and so. I mean, sometimes I'll try to send my Instagram account so they can send me theirs kind of thing. So it's like a mutual like, yo. But, every now and then there's like somebody who.
Or you run into someone and he remembers your name and you say, yeah, put your info in my phone.
That's a good one.
And then you get their number or their name like that.
But I mean, let me ask you this. Would you take it personal if someone didn't remember your name? If you was like, you had a brief conversation, or an interaction with them, and they couldn't remember your name?
I feel like we're semi-famous, so they should already know.
I mean, talk to them. Talk to them.
Where's he at?
They know my name before you know my name before we walk in the room, huh? Yeah, I will say this. Remember Sean Antonio? Sean Antonio is a great example.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what I thought of.
I'm always used to people not remembering anyone. I just, in general, when you first meet someone, unless you had, like you guys said, some drawn out interactions with one another, then you should remember my fucking name. But if it's just like a brief, interaction, hey, how you doing? This is such and such. How you doing? Pleasure to meet you. Where you from? Blah blah blah. And then you go away. I don't expect you to remember my name if I see you a week later or a couple of days later or some shit like that. Sean Antonio, first met Sean Antonio through Joe and Abner and our boy Jimmy. And I met him. He was like, how you doing, man? Great to meet you, blah, blah, blah. Joe introduced me as Rell's DJ, blah, blah. We, chopped it up for a brief moment. And I think we went back to the same spot because Sean Antonio was throwing it. And I walked in and I was going to go introduce myself again to him. And he was like, Rell, how you doing, man? Blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, shit. Like, how you remember me? Like, he literally was talking to everyone in the club.
And if you told him some facts about yourself, he
would
remember
that shit as well. Because he remembered
how's
that
it
I
going
took
with
Landmark.
that thing?
Yeah, he remembered that I did Landmark because she was like, oh, Rell did Landmark as well. So he was like, oh my God. I guess that's probably what made him stand out a little bit.
Yeah,
but
and man, does it go a long way when you remember someone's name and you remember some details about what they got going. That goes a long way, and I mean, it's obviously great for networking. But I'm gonna try and take this pod up to the next level. Have you guys ever ran into a girl you hooked up with and forgot her name?
Yes.
Come on, talk to me. Like, think about when you were 22 running around these Hollywood streets and you ran into an old girl.
Cruise ships.
Cruise ships. Wow. You ran into a girl from when?
I promise you, I would hook up with a girl, and think about it. If it was a 7-day cruise, right? If I hook up with her,
wait, was she an employee or was she a guest?
Well, the employee, I wouldn't know who it was. Yeah, but she was a guest. It was a guest. It happened to me twice actually.
That's illegal, Rell. Rell, you gonna get fired. Rell, you gonna get fired. Don't get fired.
This is why I'm an asshole.
Okay, go ahead.
I would meet him, and let me paint the picture for you guys who don't understand. Like, so, all three of us have done the cruise ships. Yeah. Miki has put us on. Miki has put me on, I should say.
I went on a cruise.
I went on. My first experience was when I went on. Miki introduced me to it, and it took off. I did like 5 or 6 of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Right? And they all did all different ones. So on the cruise ships, they blow you up. The headline is Celebrity Scratch DJ from Los Angeles. Or sometimes they would say I was from New York or whatever the scenario was. Yeah. So if you a girl, you coming on with your homegirls and you trying to have a good time, you hear that shit, you like, and you look at him and you're like, oh, he's cute, blah, blah, blah. So now that picture is painted, moving forward. So obviously when we go in there, I'm DJing, and the girls, I'll check out the girls first, second day or whatever. I'm like, oh, she's cute, blah, blah, blah. And you're not supposed to fraternize with the guests.
Right.
That's a rule.
That's a rule.
That's a rule, though, because they'll leave you.
When they catch you off,
they will leave you at their next stop.
I've known DJs to get kicked off of these things.
Well, and hold on. Let me also, sorry to jump in, but
no, go ahead.
There's also the fine line of, as the celebrity guest DJ, right? Yeah. We're going to hold that down because it's true.
Yeah.
But the pro and con of the whole situation, the pro is you get all the amenities of a guest.
You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
You actually don't get to hang out in a lot of... maybe it just was uncomfortable to be in, the other quarters of, the crew.
Well, in my experience, I got to hang out there.
Okay.
Like, I was able to go back
I just
deck
didn't try
and hang out, and there was times where I got to DJ for them a bunch of times or whatever. It was always for me it was always the transition period. So my first time did it was Styles. He was my transition. So he introduced me to everybody on the ship.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, cool. I knew all the staff.
Weren't the
all
Corona
the
beers like $1 in the back?
They were $1. This is what I'm saying. They were $1 for a beer and $2 for a mixed drink. We would get smacked in the back and then come to the front in the regular nightclub on the cruise ship. So, I'm already feeling nice. So now I only need to have one drink. I'm feeling nice. I'm talking to the girls. And you don't have to talk to the girls. They'll just approach you because they see your name on the syllabus and all that stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Come over and talk, whatever. 9 times out of 10, if chicks have, had a couple of drinks, you had a couple of drinks, y'all click, you normally hook up with them. Whether you go back to your room or you go back to their room, you hook up with them. The entire conversation, I never got Shorty's name. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know it. I'm sure she probably told it to me. I probably just don't remember it. So we hook up. I don't see her the next day. She leaves the room or I leave the room or whatever. I don't see because either I'm working or she may show up at the area that I'm DJing at or whatever. 2 days later, and I'm like, somebody be like, "Oh, yo, I thought you look like you kind of friendly with Shorty. What's her name, man? I don't fucking know, bro." Like, I don't know what and you hit him with the, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on? How's your day going? You enjoying? Did you get off the ship? Whatever." Bro, it happened to me twice. I couldn't remember their name. One time, I didn't remember their name for the whole week. The second time,
so you just hanging out with her and you just saying, "Hey, can you, hey, girl, what you, hey."
I got lucky because her friend kept calling her name, so I was like, "Yes, we in there, we got it." But hey, man, it happens, man. Listen, it's not one of my proudest moments, but it happens. I'm human. I make mistakes.
Sure.
I know you have. I know you have.
I never hooked up with anyone on the cruise ship. I only did it once, but I never hooked up with anyone on the cruise ship.
Oh, you only did the cruise ship once?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying you forgot a girl's name after hooking up with her.
I'm thinking now, I can't think of, I'm thinking of the girls I hooked up with. I can't, every girl I think of, I can't think of their names. I don't.
Every girl?
Almost every girl. Not every girl.
Every girl you hooked up with.
Like when we were running around with Sean Antonio parties and we were hooking up.
These random ass females that I had one night stands with.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I haven't had that situation happen. I mean, I think on the cruise ships I only hooked up a couple of times. I think it was
I was a hoe in that shit.
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah, man, there was no talent on my cruise.
And out of Miami.
Dog, there was no talent on the weeks I did. And one of those weeks was an all-gay cruise.
Oh, I remember that. That's why they signed your ass
the
up
pros
for that
and
shit.
cons of the gay cruise. The pros and cons.
Yeah.
Pros, you don't have to work for a whole week.
Yeah.
Because,
they
the
bring
scratch
their own DJs
events.
and stuff.
Yeah, they bring their own DJs and scratch events are for the kids. There's no kids on there. It's a 21-0 party. The cons,
you have a six-pack.
I felt like a piece of meat. Women, I feel for y'all. The way guys stare at you, 100% feel for y'all. First hour of being on that cruise, because I stay on. Well, no, we got to get off and then we get back on. Yeah. So we eat with everybody, with all the guests at the buffet. I'm in line at the buffet. Not really in line. I'm just getting my food. I swear to God, I just felt eyes on me. I'd never had this feeling in my life. And I'm looking around.
Were you wearing a tank top?
I don't remember.
Probably.
I probably had a shirt on. A tee. Probably had a tee on. But I felt these dudes just hawking me. And then one of them walked by and said something to me, said something flirty shit. I was like, what the fuck? And then another one was in line.
Wait. I don't mean to cut you off. Let me ask you this. Did you know beforehand that it was going to be an all-gay cruise?
They not leading up to the full trip, but the leading up to that week.
To that week?
They said, yeah, it's an all. I was like, okay, cool. But I didn't think anything of it. I just thought I don't have to work.
Oh, okay.
So that dude walks by and says, what the fuck? And the next guy is not standing behind me. Easy. He's next in line, and he says some shit for food, and it ain't me. My bad. Okay. So he says he says something. I was like, what the fuck did you say? I didn't say it like that, but that was going on in my head. I was like, what? And he's like, don't worry, we're just messing with you. I was like, y'all in on this together? Like y'all,
this shit's
trying
a game
to
together?
you think this is a game? This is a joke? So for 3 days, I felt mad uncomfortable. I stayed in my room most of the time. And then when their parties were lit, though. They brought their own speakers and lights.
Damn.
So it was like a full-on rave. And I just hung out with the crew. We were roped off. I was like, man, I'm chilling with y'all. But as the days went on, they calmed down, they chilled out, and no one was flirting with me. No one was even looking at me. They were just zombies walking around because they were so burned. They probably got their shits off.
It's literally like Vegas on a fucking cruise ship in the middle of the ocean.
Right.
Exactly.
Would you guys ever go on a cruise ship like now?
Yo, I want to.
Yeah,
I want to. Just to experience it from this perspective.
From the other's perspective.
Yeah.
I hope we got some
I would do
juice
Royal.
still.
I would do Royal.
Yeah,
Royal
absolutely. I would do Royal.
I did Norwegian. I worked on Norwegian. It was like,
whatever.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I hear
Royal.
that what's the other line that they compete with? The major one.
Carnival.
Carnival. I heard Carnival is like the more party cruise line.
I think that's like
For the
more
younger
like
people.
Bud Light and PBR.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I said. I said it just sounds like it's
I don't know if I could do all that.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, Sam and I went to what's it called? A timeshare meeting. You know, like where they showcase stuff and they try and get you to buy in.
Yeah.
We went to one of those because we won. We won something at the Clippers game.
That's what they tell you.
Right. And then the guy's like, oh, wow, you won. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you fucking motherfuckers are winning every minute here. Like, but I was like, all right, let's roll. And I was just rolling with it. Sam was into it. She won a trip to Orlando and Disney World.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah. And I was like, I'll roll with you. And, you know, this goes back to our episode of finding things to do with your girlfriend or significant other.
Okay.
And, you know, it was so, like, at that point, there's nothing being paid for. Yeah. So she wanted to drive out to Orange County to go to this meeting. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'll roll with you. Like a night out with you. We ain't got to spend any money. Yeah. Cool. You know, adventure. What I'm trying to say, going out on an adventure. Okay. So we go to Orange County. We sit in on this meeting, and the guys takes us out of the meeting or takes us out of the show and trying rapping to us. Well, can you afford it if we did this? I'm like, look, man, we're just here for this trip. You know,
yo, give me my free
y'all
shit.
said you give us this free shit. That's really what we're here for. They gave us our $40 deposit back because that's what it costs. Like, if we didn't show up, they kept the money. So we got everything. We didn't have to spend any extra money. But the cruise ship was a part of one of the free trips, and like the Disney cruise. And I'm just like, that sounds like fun, but it also sounds like a nightmare. Because can you imagine all these little kids? Imagine, you know, kids on a plane are wild, right? Like, we've all had that experience. Imagine a bunch of them for 5 days straight running around, hopped up on ice cream and soda on a Disney cruise.
Sounds like birth control.
It sounds like a nightmare. It sounds god awful.
It is.
So, long story short, we didn't take the cruise.
But we should all go on a cruise.
Yo,
I'm down.
Let's put that. I'm putting that universe 2020.
Yeah, put that out there. Put it out there and let it go.
We'll
after the wedding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm with that. Yeah,
Okay.
we definitely been talking about doing the cruise and seeing what it would be like.
I'll have a girlfriend by then. we'll see.
Put that out there too.
Put that out there.
God,
2020.
you hear me?
Yeah.
2020. Here we go.
But for those, we started the pod.
Yep.
With Jazzy Jeff's
Practice.
Not a game.
Not a game.
Shout out to Iverson.
Yeah,
Come on, man. That's our
AI,
guy.
man. Pound for
AI
pound.
all day.
The greatest pound for pound.
Practice?
How often do you guys practice?
You know, I feel like when I have a string of bookings, I feel like I'm practicing within those bookings. Like, I don't feel that when I do when I do just one booking a weekend or two. Mm-hmm. But if I have like 3, or it's just like, you know, whatever, like let's say 3 bookings in 5 days, I feel like I'm so in the zone of what I'm supposed to be doing, like that set, those routines. Within those routines, I'll think, ooh, what if I did this? But I won't think that if I just show up, if I haven't spun in a week and I show up on a Saturday somewhere and DJ. So I feel like when you spin a significant amount of times throughout the week, like you feel like you're kind of practicing and you're working out new things or you're trying new things.
But do you go back with those ideas and try them out?
Yeah. If I can remember, if I don't make a note about it, I'll try them out. Or, you know, because you got the split, the Serato, you know, you can literally practice.
Club,
screen, whatever it's called. I'll try it out on there the next day. Like, I'll remember if I'm going through my set, like, oh yeah, I was gonna do that, or I tried this. Like, how can I clean it up? Yeah, I think to a certain degree that's practicing as well. But full on with the turntables, I feel like not as much as I should. I feel like when I have routines, like a fun idea, something that really needs to be worked out physically, like I'll get on the tables and practice that.
Right.
Not that often though.
Well,
yeah, I think I just utilize my practice differently. Like if I'm working consistently, like Joe was saying, if I'm doing 3 gigs in 5 days or whatever, my practice is not so much being on the turntables, but trying to find ideas, going through, my crates and just trying to do that. But if I'm only doing like 1 gig a week or something like that, then I'm on my turntables a little bit more just to keep my hands tight.
Keep them warm and
keep them warm. Yeah. Because I've gone through a period of time where I wouldn't practice as often as I should. Yeah. And I would get up and instead of needing 5 to 10 minutes to warm up, I need that 20 to 30 minutes to warm up and get my hands right. And I'm like, I can't have that, especially when you're doing a headlining spot, because that 30 minutes is a quarter of your set or half of your set if your set's only an hour.
And not to sound hypocritical, because our last episode we talked about being creative, but so I feel like you are like if you're thinking about it, that's a part of the process of becoming a better DJ. If you're not, just because you're physically not scratching on the tables or doing, working on a routine, doesn't mean you're not practicing. I think if you're thinking about it and if you load up the tracks of Serato and try and make it work, like when I'll go back to that when I was watching Zach at Tao, and like 30, 45 minutes into his set, I opened up my Serato and was just, working on new ideas or trying different things. I think that's chalked up as practice as well, like getting in there and trying out some new things.
So hold on, I gotta ask this real quick. You were in the booth, with your laptop out, during his set. Yeah. You don't think that make him feel a little like weird?
No, I didn't consider that, but it was also like 30, 45 minutes in, so I don't think he thought he's about to kick me off. I think that would have been. I probably should have said something, and maybe any other DJ would have thought, "Yo, is this guy about to take me off?" Because when I've seen that in the past, someone cracks a laptop open, I'm thinking, "Yo, is this dude about to pull me, or are they about to pull me?"
Yeah. So don't you feel like some sort of
no? And I should have made that clear. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But again, I don't think Zach felt that because he was killing it. So why would he think that?
So you're being selfish for your own.
Yeah, benefit. You can call it whatever you want to call it. You call me an asshole, whatever. That's fine. I didn't think Zach was thinking that. And plus, I was so much, to your point, being selfish, I was so much into my own set. Right. I wasn't considering that.
Thinking about his shit.
You were being considerate to Zach.
I wasn't being considerate.
I'm just being an asshole.
I wasn't being considerate, clearly.
I don't know. I would just feel uncomfortable. I'd be like, what are you doing? Yeah. Back there.
That's 100% understandable.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a funny picture. Not as often as I'd like to. Like I when I had a setup, set up all the time. Like now I have a setup just because I'm trying to work on mixes and different things like that. But it's still not. I don't know. I think I like to get used to the record button being on. I feel like sometimes that's a different kind of pressure. Yeah. And wanting to not mess up for a certain amount of time. I think also just turning on, if you're recording with a GoPro or iPhone or whatever, it's good to be in front of that just to put that pressure to sharpen up the skills, Yeah. But I think there's so many different ways of quote unquote practice, right? You were saying, you could be the guy who's on the court and is physically putting a basketball through the hoop, or you could be the guy that's watching tape, And so I think for us, watching tape is being out and about, and you hear a record that you're like, oh damn, I haven't heard that record in a while.
Basically, and research. And
stuff. And that could be Shazamming something, or it could be is Shazamming still frowned upon? I don't think so. Right? We got past that.
I don't think so.
Honestly, to me, that's just another thing for DJs to flex and be
nitpick about.
I see some DJs Shazamming my set. Man, shut the fuck up.
It don't matter.
I don't care. You can ask me.
Take it. Yeah, you can ask me. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Yeah, this is what the song is, man.
You heard that song somewhere too. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
No. I get offensive. I get defensive about that because that falls in line with the DJs that bully.
Right.
Like, just shut up. Like, stop being a bully.
Right.
Accept
Like,
that people are out here learning and trying to get better.
Exactly.
And let them do
We all
their
have
thing.
access to this, man. Like, just, it goes back to what we were talking
Share
about.
the knowledge.
Share the knowledge, man.
Yeah.
Stop bitching and complaining about it and share the knowledge and just move forward. But
Let me ask you this. Okay, so you said pressing record. That's one way you challenge yourself, put yourself in that position.
Sure.
As a practice tool.
Yeah.
If you were I don't want to say if you were more on top of it, like you ain't doing shit, but let's just say if you were more on top of it, what would you like to do that you feel can benefit you or just any DJ? Like, what kind of practice tools would you do or would you sharpen for your sets that you think DJs should be on top of or that you just would like, period?
Well, I think it's something that fell off when we went digital, and I think this applies for what used to be the separator for me back when I would think about creative mixing and different tools and trades. I'll big up Rell, who uses a part of Beautiful, and then brings it, like, goes from the bridge or the end to the top, and like things like of that nature is because.
Wait, what Beautiful song?
Snoop Dogg
and Pharrell.
The part where he goes, I just wanna know that you're. That
Keep
part.
going,
And it's
keep
got
going.
like the clap.
Really
I just want to hear
special.
Rell say.
Nigga.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Slap
And
the
then he
side.
goes,
Oh. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun,
That's dope.
Hey.
Yeah.
dun.
Yeah. I'm with
Anyway,
it. I'm with it.
all
I'm
right,
in
so-
here. I'm dancing.
yeah, and like when people would use the bridge on Dance With Me 112 or,
Sure.
just different parts of the record. And I think that got lost in translation because a couple reasons. Music started coming out a lot faster.
Yeah.
And then two, when you had a record, or at least we were kind of taught that you'd have to know your mix points.
Yeah.
Where you want to get out. And to understand that, or the best positions, you would listen to the entire song.
Yep.
I wouldn't be able to tell you 10 songs that I've listened to the entire song this year.
Bro, I'm there with
I
you.
tell you
what I'm
what,
saying?
when I try something, like when I'm working with new songs,
Yeah.
I'm listening for those break points in the song,
Right.
Because I know that could be something special and
Yeah.
that, could separate.
And you're old.
You're listening if you're listening to it in your car, in your whip, or something
true.
like that. Yeah. If I got control of the music, like if I'm listening to my Serato or Apple Music, I'll definitely skip for it.
You're right.
To see if there's a break.
Well,
or
because
some
you can
shit like
skim
that.
through
I can-
versus like in a car.
exactly.
I mean, you're literally
If I got
you're
control of
taking
it,
the
yeah.
energy to
Look,
like go
man,
next.
Look, man,
Exactly.
we just gave them a nugget. There are DJs that are already on top of this, but there are DJs that are not. Find a part, a bridge, or something within the song, and that you can just drop. That will be a smooth drop, and you let that ride for 4 bars, and then bring it back to the top. And if the top's just an instrumental or a synth or something, talk over it, get them pumped up, because it's probably a song that they all love, and it should be a song that they all know and want to sing.
Yeah, it works.
And it's something you can use it as a reset tool, and it's something that'll get everyone going again.
Yeah.
Or keep the flow.
Yeah. Just getting to know the records more, and sometimes you pick up on things that just, I don't know, like could make sense in different scenarios.
Yeah.
And it allows you to play the same records differently.
Yep.
So
that brings you back to my point what I said.
Right.
Usually I try to just find different ways to present these tracks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it unique, just like instead of, typical either drop or 8 bars in, 8 bars out or whatever, just find that break or find somewhere in it, even if you drop it from the hook, because the way you can drop it just makes it flow with your set. You can do that, bring it back to the top. You know what I mean? Yeah. When was the last time you guys like sessioned with somebody, like a DJ?
With someone else?
Yeah, like you, regardless of what it is, whether you were swapping music, whether you were cutting, whatever it was. When was the last time you actually done that with somebody? I think that's a lost art. I think a lot of DJs are not doing that more now.
Well, because I don't think a lot of DJs care for scratching, and they feel like, I know what songs I'm gonna play. Why do I need to session with someone?
Or they feel like you're going to steal their sound effect or some shit.
They feel like you're going to steal their sound effect. That's why you got to keep these ideas to yourself.
Man.
But to the other question, or to my question, what I would like to do, and I think would be dope for DJs to introduce more, is scratching on the one, like chirping on the one and dropping on the one, like if that shit's done, or even a scribble, if that shit's done nice and tight, I think that sounds hard as fuck. Like when a DJ can chirp and drop it on the one, I think that's real dope. And there's nothing complex about it.
Nope.
Like the way we came up, we're trying to double what's it called, the crab and just do orbit or and all that, and which is clearly unnecessary in the club. So, but if you can, I mean, it's fun, but you don't. But it's not like you don't really need to.
Yeah.
But I think if you obviously don't need to scratch on the one, but a DJ that can chirp it nice and tight and drop it on the one, when I hear that, I feel some type of way, like, oh shit, like hell yeah, like that kind of gets me pumped for what's about to happen next.
I literally scratch over every transition. Yeah. I literally scratch every transition in.
Yeah, like what's it called, like the double time. I don't even know, but it's just like it's. Yeah, it's just it's not exactly on beat. It's kind of like you know how the Migos flow, the
triplet,
like a triplet chirp, if that makes sense. Yeah, boom. You know, like something like that. Like that just sounds tight.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's like.
Do you practice that?
Seasoning.
That's what I would like to. That's what I would like to. Like if I were to put it out there, like what I would like to do, I honestly feel like if I can master that, like that will take things another level for me. Because I can understand why some people like certain DJs who I don't think are very talented, but they introduce these very basic and cuts, but these cuts kind of sound a little bossy. Yeah. So it makes them look more special and adds more to what they're doing. Yeah. At least that's how I interpret it.
Only because I've been doing this more recently, but fell in love with boxing as of like just workout sessions and stuff like that. Yeah. And it feels like to me there might be a correlation between the more advanced scratches, the more you throw punches, the less likely you're to throw a 15 punch combo. But it looks great on the gram.
Yeah.
It looks good on Street Fighter.
I mean, if you're trying to like break down the car, or you can't get the soccer ball out the bottom.
You're still working on that car, bro. Man, those poor guys, they're still working on it.
Still working on it. But, you know, there's some stuff that you do for the gram because you're like, you're trying to like, you know, throw the combos. It looks good. You're like hitting your punches. And that's, you know, like doing like the chirps, the crabs. I mean, the crabs, the crazier stuff. But the reality is what's really going to come down to is your jab, your hook, and your cross.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, like.
Can you stab?
The chirp, the stab, and
the scribble.
Yeah, call it a baby scratch. Whatever. Exactly. Like, you know, you're going to have your core foundation, things that are really going to be the most, you know, successful ways of bringing in records.
You know, I wouldn't mind hear DJ scratching the acapella drop into like a twerk song or moombahton song because, you know, normally those drops, it's just all synth. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind hearing more scratches, simple scratches of the acapella over those. So I feel like if you do it right, keep it basic and simple, it brings a different kind of energy to that track being dropped. And again, it can separate you.
But that also includes a little extra work sometimes, right? Like you used to do, and I don't know if you still do this, but you would make edits for almost every record.
Almost,
inspired from Sprite.
Right, yeah.
Who does like still probably
still a lot of fucking work.
He's got a lot of discipline.
He can't play a track without it
being a track he plays is an edit. Every track,
which is mind blowing because a dude has a day job. He's got kids. Like
he's got a fiance.
He's inked a new deal with DJcity to put out more content. He's got globalization. Crazy. Like it's crazy. Like that dude,
man
he can't sleep.
Nah, he
shout out to him.
Shout out to Sprite.
But yeah. I'm getting back into that but I'm not trying to force it.
Right.
So because I think of it kind of like a show. You're doing something different. You're kind of showcasing, but you're also keeping the party going.
Yeah, I think that's something I'd probably would love to get back into, but time is.
You used to be the man about using acapellas, man.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah, you used to be on top of them acapellas. I'd be like, damn, he got the acapella for this shit too.
Yeah. Now I just rely on DJcity to keep me on.
And that's what happened. Like the Tall Boys started putting out shorter edits, and I was like, so busy on tour. I was just like, no, I'm good. I'll just use these Tall Boys.
Yeah, all the work is done for you now, especially with these record pools. It's almost like
we appreciate it. Go too far.
Yeah,
but yeah, I guess maybe we're all due for a session together.
Yeah,
you know,
it's been a minute. We used to do this shit every goddamn day.
Well, it was easier back in the days because Mike, at Mike's crib, he had 2 setups. He had a big space. So
you got a big ass fucking studio.
I only got 1 setup though.
We can bring a setup.
Got to move a couch around.
You know what?
We'll figure it out.
Jesus.
We'll
All right,
figure
I'm
it
gonna head
out.
out.
You see what happens when you get old? You start making excuses,
He's got to run it by Sam.
right?
Hey, come on now. Don't play me. You know Sam's with the shits.
Yeah, no, she.
Literally.
Well, shit. I mean, what are other, I don't know, ways that you can practice? Just not even being in on the turntables, like you think that are, I don't know, maybe a nice little gem for somebody to leave with.
Well, you know what I've been doing lately. When I go and do sound check, I practice my routines on that spot. It might feel a little uncomfortable for the guy on the sound. You know, that's the tech, whatever the sound tech.
Turn down the lights when I do this.
Yeah. No, but you know what though? You got to do that. When I did Omnia, I said, look, I'm going to get on, but I'm not going to play my intro right off the bat. I'm going to play a couple songs, get warmed up, and then you'll hear me play my intro, as my name said 20 million times over it. He's like, okay, I'm glad you told me that because some guys don't tell me, and I just assume they're ready to go once they get on. Yeah. So that's a little Scooby snack for you guys. But
damn, how often do you get to do a sound check, man? You lucky.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of it because that's the time I haven't done that routine in a while. Let me do it. And I just run through them, and just get reacquainted with them. Okay, cool. And that's like a quick little 5-minute practice session of refreshing your mind. Let
me ask you guys this, though, because majority of the time you guys are spinning on CDJs when you guys are out, right?
Yeah.
More so than you do turntables. But you guys have your setups at homes with turntables. Right? You ever think about getting CDJs to get like just a little bit more comfortable on CDJs, or you feel like because you spend on them so much that?
I feel like on the contrary, I'd rather practice on turntables because I'm on the CDJ so much that if I get that opportunity to be on the turntables, you know, I'll be comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the few times I practice every so often, but at Mom's Bar, they had turntables. Yo, this shows how many times I'm on turntables a week because I forgot my needles and records. And he told me, but I'm so used to not showing up with, you know, so he, of course, Bossa Nova, shout out to him. He was like, yeah, just use my shit. It's all good. But I didn't feel uncomfortable on the turn. I felt fine. Within the first 10 minutes, I got a muscle memory. I got to tell myself the pitch isn't on the right.
No, it's on the top. Yeah.
So the first 5-10 minutes, I went to go for it on the side, on the right. Oh, shit, no, it's, you know. Yeah. And then, so, you know, that's a part of getting warmed up.
Don't you feel like that now? Like, what's the other way of setting up your turntables? The traditional way,
the DJ Premier way.
And then like, you know, the pitch control now like is on the same side.
Oh yeah, the freestyle way. Yeah, you're right.
It's just now it just makes it weird when you got the tone arm there.
I didn't think about that. I still keep it funky.
Oh no, of course.
Keep it a buck.
I do have a controller, which sometimes I feel like emulates kind of the same feeling.
Yeah, the platter doesn't move.
The platter movement. I will say that at the time, the controller I invested in, which I think is like a DD. Somebody's gonna kill me over this because people know equipment better than I do. I really don't know what it is.
I don't know which one of mine is.
But look, it's a DDJ SX
something
first version.
2.
It doesn't have the colored pads. Okay, it's the lower.
Oh shit!
You got the small one. Damn. Okay.
Or maybe it does have color pads. Don't make me feel terrible. But I know that new one that came out more recently looks dope.
Yeah, they made like it's efficient. Yeah,
would want to invest it because I think that's the one that looks like the closest or feels the most to the size of a CDJ. Yeah. So that's probably something I'd be down to invest in. But I don't think I could ever get rid of like having the access or the ability to want to just jump on some turntables.
Yeah. Turntablism at heart. You know what I mean?
Although I probably do want to switch out of I have a pair of the Pioneer turntables, those new ones.
The PLXs?
PLX.
I love them things, man.
I'm like a fan.
No? I think the torque on them is amazing. I just think they're heavy as fuck.
They are heavy.
They're heavy. Like if you're not going to just use them, if you're going to get them, use them specifically for your studio.
Don't move them.
Don't move them because guys that are doing mobile gigs, those are not the turntables for you at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, them things are heavy as a bitch, but I fucks with them. I mean, you know, I have techniques at home, but my entertainment company, we have PLXs, We use them.
Yeah.
I love them. Like the torque on them is amazing. I love the plus 16, the plus 50 on them.
I do enjoy that part.
I fuck with a lot of shit on that, especially with like cutting and doing all that stuff on everything on it. But they're solid turntables.
I tried to do this mixing because I'm not going to put it out because it was such a frustrating thing to do. I was trying to do like a friends versus enemies or friends and foes like little routine.
Like a beef mix?
Nah, not quite. Let me draw it out.
Okay.
So
wait, this isn't for a girl?
Anyway, so
that's what we need. Gunshots. Shots fired.
MikiWAR.
Thanks.
Got you.
So,
all right, we're good. We're good. I'm good. I'm done.
We good? Get it out? All right.
Out of my system.
Anyhow. No, I was trying to figure out doing Post Malone's new record with the baby Enemy into dude, I forgot it last night. I'm gonna forget it right now. Again, Drake's
Going Bad?
No. I Got Enemies. It's at 86 BPM.
Yeah, it's at 86.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Enemies, Post Malone's 75.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that plus 16 came in handy in that situation.
Yeah.
It just didn't like
I use that plus 16
sonically
religiously
work.
Yeah.
For my taste. I'm sure somebody will force it or I was too lazy to just drop it into Ableton to like really get it to where it needs to be tone wise. And then what was it going into? Oh, and then it uses that ask me the code for the Wi-Fi just to tell me they ain't really friends.
Yeah.
Into real friends. And so it like develops from enemies to friends.
And then you drop the Friends song.
How many of us have them? Or the
yeah, that one. So no one told me.
Yeah, that would
have been lit.
Okay.
There you go.
Not quite.
Hey, well, go ahead.
This is why we need to bounce ideas off each other.
See, we're having
you did come by my house like a few months ago to work on some shit.
That was that's because I didn't have turntables.
Yeah. So
to
answer your question, now, we did session. Well,
yeah,
he did
without him.
Session. He just came over to use a turntable.
That's as close as we got.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
That was when I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna come back to DJing. Let me see what this shit's about.
Yeah, let me see if I can match two songs.
Right, I had it.
Never lose it. It's like riding a bike.
Right. And no, I think it was into. Oh, my options were Just a Friend, Bismarcky, Best Friend, 50 Cent. Mm-hmm. But then I was just like, sonically, this is forceful.
There's a lot of friends in there.
Huh?
Could have been Kumo D.
Well, it would have been one. It would have been one more record.
You should have ended it with no new friends.
I was trying to do it for song. But then I felt like it was overly Draked.
Overly.
Like
Drake's got some friends issues, bro.
It's friends and enemies.
Yeah. Fake love.
Oh yeah, Fake Love. That was another one that was kind of made sense.
Man, we gotta talk to Drake. Gotta have a little session with him.
Like, yeah,
make sure he's all right. Yo, are you guys playing Enemies by Post Malone?
Yeah. Not really.
No.
Chisel has a dope. Well, if you do a club that you get away with playing this, DJ Chisel has a dope bootleg of that into the OK song with the saxophone. I forgot what it's called. Very popular OK song, but it's dope. Like, I don't play the whole verse because I think it's just just that song alone is way too slow for the club. Mm-hmm. So I have a cue point set up like after Post Malone does it, and so then I hit the cue on the snare, and then it takes it to the hook, and the drums come in. But gotcha. Yeah, if you guys hit up Chisel for that, because I think it's real dope for that type of environment.
Did it hit you up?
Check that out.
Yeah, it hit me up. Shit. Yeah, no, it's fuck. I forgot the name of that. Okay, song, man. DJs are gonna hit me with it after this drops. But a Thief. Okay, Thief with the saxophone, like that shit's hot.
Can you play some of the saxophone with your?
What's he talking? What's he talking? What are you talking about?
Nothing. Never mind.
Right. And practice.
Can you sing some of it? No? All right. No.
Oh, you wanted me to sing?
Yeah, but I just didn't want to say with what. There he is.
Out here, man. Come on.
You can't applaud yourself.
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. It's right here.
Yeah, are we good?
We're good.
Yeah.
Practice.
Practice makes perfect. Never stop practicing, no matter how many.
Is that saying like legit though? Practice makes perfect.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know because you never really are perfect. Yeah. So
well, we're not practicing enough to find out. So.
Yeah, we damn sure
we've discovered that.
Yeah.
And last tidbit. Sorry, final gem. Forgot to mention this, but I think I've said it before. Yo, it's not difficult nowadays to just have a little notepad, throw out ideas. I was out when I was listening with you. When I've listened to you. Different DJs, something will spark an idea, and I'll be like, "Oh, okay,
yeah."
And I'll just put transition ideas,
yep.
Yeah.
And then if it's music on Spotify or Apple, I'll just create a playlist where like go download this later.
Yeah. I picked up Miki to go somewhere a day before my Playhouse gig, and he says, and we're just listening to the songs I have in a playlist. And I don't make playlists. He's like, "Is this your Playhouse playlist?" I was like, "Yeah," because I don't know these songs very well, so
keeps it fresh. I mean, I wasn't mad, like, or
no,
I was trying to clown.
No, I know you weren't trying to clown or do anything, but it's just funny.
Yeah. Oh no,
that's a part of the situation. That's a part of the process. Like, I gotta figure these songs out front to back. I'm looking for that spot where I can throw it in, in the middle.
Look, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I remember I was listening to somebody talking about cookout songs, and I was just like. So I started searching cookout playlists on Spotify, and then like people have
the Gap Band Outstanding,
huh?
Yeah. Gap Band Outstanding,
yeah.
Top.
No, and people have their versions of cookout records, and so like I like to listen to that. I wanted to get more familiar with like 50s and 60s like oldies and shit. So like there's literally Cholos oldies like on.
I got some swing
Spotify.
music for you if you want some.
Yeah. See, I mean, maybe it's just what is missing out of this whole practice session.
Okay.
More importantly than just being on turntables.
Yeah.
Is the old music swap.
Yeah, that's what I asked. Yeah,
Sessions.
how often you just swap music?
Just put each other on.
Yo, y'all playing that shit yet?
Yeah, that's.
And if Dainja ever, oh my God.
Talk about it.
Dainja once.
Talk to him, King.
Didn't give me a song on purpose.
Turbulence.
It was a Turbulence. It was Turbulence. And it was long before I think all of this music shit evolved.
Yeah.
And only certain people had it.
You gave it to us.
Eventually.
But he held on to it. And the only reason I got mad at him is because the one time this asshole lost his entire hard drive. I gave him all my crates.
I didn't even have a hard drive. I just started using Serato, and you gave me all your crates.
No, but you also...
Oh, I did. You're right. I lost it at
after
Presto's
that
crib. Yeah,
even after that,
right.
After I did give you the initial library, no hesitation, no holdouts. He probably had some of like random shit that he didn't need, but he had lost it all. And then I gave him my entire shit. No hesitation. Yeah, and then I go, yo, let me get that record. Mm-hmm. He's just like,
nah, man, I can't.
You know what,
up.
Friend?
He played me.
I understand where you're coming from. I completely get it. But I feel like to the person who was my boss at the time, who gave me that track, I felt like I had to keep my word because he said, do not give this to anybody. If Aoki hears about someone using it or ends up on a blog, I don't know how they would have tracked it. But I gave him my word. I said, you got it. I won't give it out.
Listen, I'm waiting to...
But I get it. And next time, I'll give it to you. The track.
I'm waiting to call in my favor with Joe because Joe has hit me up numerous of times for tracks.
Yeah, I have.
He hit me up a bunch of times. Yo, you got this track? You got that track?
Yeah, but it's like but it's like Crazy in Love Beyonce.
Yeah,
it's just like the
like
typical.
Like,
I'm like, wait a minute,
like,
I don't have that, or I have a vinyl rip of it.
And then there was one time you spun at Lore. I think it was. This was a little while ago.
Okay. It was a while ago.
And I think your laptop wasn't fucking your laptop. I just finished doing Playhouse. I opened up my Playhouse.
Oh yeah.
We walked over to Lore. I think your laptop fucked up.
Yeah, it wasn't compatible. Like I just switched to OS. And it wasn't compatible with that with what I had in my Serato.
So he had his hard drive, and I went back to my car to go get my laptop, and he used my laptop. He plugged his hard drive in what you call it.
I got you.
Yeah, so I'm waiting.
When you're ready to...
I'm just like,
I got you.
Hey, Joe, I need you.
Easy. Come on. Whoa. Got you, bro.
Let's do it. Anyways.
You good?
Anyway, yeah.
Episode...
Can you get over this? Can we move forward? I feel like you're still holding on to this.
I was holding on to it until we had a platform to talk about it. I'm good now. Thanks.
Episode 18? Is this 18?
18. Which is in Spanish? You said you knew every number but 14, bro.
What's 10?
10. Ocho.
And
Yes, y ocho.
yeah, that was cold.
My guy, he quick.
Boy.
On now, Dominican Rell.
I'm getting married in Mexico, boy.
Yeah.
I got 8 months to get my Spanish up.
I don't really qualify Tulum as Mexico.
Shit.
Why not?
It's more Mexican than
Come on, man. That's
Cabo.
where the escorts go. That's where the escorts go.
That's like
photo
calling,
shoots.
like Bali's in Indonesia, but I don't really consider it Indonesia. Like Bali's like
well,
Bali.
as an Indonesian, let me just say that.
What percentage are you Indonesian?
Yeah, exactly.
You tell me, friend. What percentage of Indonesian am I on, huh?
I don't know, nigga.
50.
Man, it's time to wrap this podcast up. These guys don't know me.
33.
Thank you. Thank you again
Now
for
we're
tuning
even.
in.
We're even.
MikiDz
Podcast.
Podcast,
Since you don't know my
episode 18. We appreciate
25%.
y'all.
He's a quarter.
Let's go.